want to make sure you all of it. All right. So if you're new right here, we are introducing ourselves. We're joining. Where are we joining from? And I'm going to share the chat with you all, so you'll also get to know anybody joining from international. Is there anybody international that you might want to put? If you already put it, just put the country in, because that always helps us to pop up to see. Um, that's always fun to see, right? Where in the world? So come on in, come on in. And also what we're doing is putting an F and a R. F for first time friends, R for returning friends. I'm making it easy for you guys, so you don't have to write lots of words. And we are 3 minutes away, and we're going to no. So I'm just doing the recording. You don't need to record it from your end. You will get the recording. I just got an alert saying somebody wants to record. You don't need to. You just enjoy. While we're waiting, make sure you have something to take notes with. I'm hoping you're going to get nuggets. And the nuggets come fast. Hopefully you're going to get them. Go get something to take notes with. Make sure you have closed all your browsers off. Put your phones away. Be fully present. We are together for 90 minutes. And even though it's online, you're getting a certificate for today. So I want to make sure you are in class. That teacher in me doesn't ever go away, right? I want to be the integrity piece, right? If I say I'm doing this and you're saying you're doing this, then we should all be doing this. And that way we can learn today together. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for putting your cameras on. It always is so much more engaging if I can see your beautiful faces. It just makes my heart happy to be with us. I'm going to pretend we're in a classroom together. I'm just going to pretend we are all in this space together and not this device, because there's a heart connection, right? So I want to make sure we connect with our hearts. And we are here. It's almost 2 o'clock, and I'm going to get us going with this. Anne is managing the waiting list room, and he's going to get people in. So I'm just not even going to, camera's not working. I don't know how to help you because my text support skills are not there. I am sorry. I wish I could give you a better answer, but the truth is that I don't know how to help you with tech stuff. So if you can hear me, all is well. And majority of the time, you're going to actually be interacting in the chat. Also, what is going to end up happening is at some point the chat is going to be closed, but it's not just random. The reason I'm doing that is because I want you to stay focused. And this is a fun thing I've learned about our brain cells, guys. If we multitask, we actually burn our brain cells. So the session hasn't even started, but I want to give you some nuggets already. Brain cells, we lose brain cells if we multitask. And there's research that says it's linked to Alzheimer's, it's linked to dementia if we are multitasking. So if by nature you are by habit, you end up multitasking. I'm trying to break this habit right now, guys. So here's what I learned about this, which was fascinating to me. I'm like, what? This is what I'm doing? No way, I can't do this anymore. This is what happens. If I'm focused on this task, which literally just happened, my phone just lit up and my eyes went over there. So I'm going to turn my face down, my phone face down, because this is what happened. My eyes went to my phone, and my brain that was focused and concentrating over here had to recalibrate to pay attention to my phone, because that got my attention. Then I had to recalibrate to come back here. Every time your brain recalibrates, you are burning brain cells. So don't do this to yourself. Just let's take care of our brains, because we're all getting old, right? We're all getting old. So welcome, welcome, welcome. What are we talking about today? My name is Prerna Richards. If you have never heard me speak before, it is my honor and pleasure that you are here. I am thrilled to make new friends and welcome back friends who we have been friends for now many, many years, and they still come from these sessions and they make my heart so happy. So I'll talk more about myself in a minute. What we are talking about today, we are together for 90 minutes. We are talking about starting the new school year with a fresh, clean start. And I'm going to leave you with lots of nuggets that you can implement right away. And whatever makes sense, run with that, right? So I'm going to, so Yeah, you guys keep asking for recording. This keeps distracting me. So I'm going to give you the recording. Just relax. Just go get something to take notes with. I promise you will get the recording. Don't worry. You got this. And so
How do we write in the chat?
the chat symbol is down there. It has the little like the mouthpiece thing with little dots, and it says chat. So you can respond in there. It's all at the bottom of your Zoom. If you're not comfortable with Zoom, let's just do a quick housekeeping. At the bottom, there's a microphone symbol that unmutes you. And then there is a video that puts your video on. So all of these things are at the bottom right there. But there's going to be parts of it that are going to be turned off during our conversation, like the chat. And like the unmuting, at some point they'll be turned off, only because I want you to pay attention and not get distracted. So I will put the chats back on. The chat is open right now, but it will go away at some point. And right now you have the option to chat, unmute, and put a video on, but that also may go away in some time. The only reason I'm doing that is because 90 minutes and I want to give you content and I want to make sure you have what you need from it. So in this live webinar, this masterclass, we're going to talk about starting the school year with a strong foundation, starting with strong connections, creating authentic relationships with children, and building up on that. And then we're going to talk about how can you conquer challenging behaviors. Kathy, you have your hand raised. What's up, my friend? Kathy Larry, do you have a question? No? All right. All right. Okay. So our conversation today is about the role of educators in starting the school year with a fresh, clean start and adding new tricks and tips to your toolkit. You know, I say this to kids all the time, that if you don't like a behavior, add a new trick, new skill on their backpack. I'm going to say the same thing to you as educators. No matter what your role is in education, if something is not working, you need new tricks in your backpack, because what you're using is all you have in your backpack, right? And this is what this conversation today is going to give you. So if you are feeling stressed out currently, if you are feeling overwhelmed, if you are looking for new tricks and tips in your backpack, that's who's going to benefit from today's conversation. That's what we're all about today. We are together for 90 minutes. So I want to be very honest and very transparent. What can you expect in these 90 minutes? For the first 60 minutes, I'm going to give you content. For the last 30 minutes, I'm going to tell you about my certification course. At the end of that, you will receive your certificate. If you stay all the way to the end for the 90 minutes, you will receive a certificate. The link will be in the chat. Don't email me after the fact. As you stay live, you get the link for the certificate. But if you leave and you're listening to this in the recording, because I know many people are going to listen to it in the recording, you won't get a certificate. So if you're catching it the recording, I'm sorry, I can't give you a certificate, but you will still get the recording. So what am I talking about today is all my tried and tested strategies that have already helped many, many teachers. I think it's over thousands already that have seen a transformation happening if they're ready to implement it. And I'm sharing them from all these years of work together in the field of early childhood. And I really believe in honesty and transparency. So I want to be totally transparent and honest and tell you that everything that I'm sharing with you is coming from the field. It's coming from the classrooms. It's coming from teachers that I have coached. It's also coming from coaches who have coached teachers and who have shared. And it's a wealth of knowledge. It's in the wealth of knowledge. And, I told you that we're together for 90 minutes and 60 minutes of content and 30 minutes of certification course information. But if the first 60 minutes gives you what you're looking for, I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. But if you're like, wait, I want more and I want to learn more, then I caught you covered. But there's no pitch, there's no sales pitch. I'm not that person. I'm not going to do a heavy sales pitch at the other end. But I believe in honesty. So I'm going to let you know that if you just get whatever you want in the first 60 minutes, I'm cool. That is all good. So, of course, we already talked about the note taking, but before I start giving you my strategies that have already transformed many programs from stress to joy, let me tell you a little bit about my background because many, many new friends have joined us today. And so I want to let you know a little bit about me. I'm a mother of 2 grown kids, and they have married beautiful human beings. So I call them my 4 grown kids and then 4 grandkids. I have been in the field of early childhood education for 38 years now. And I don't know if there's any way to love this profession anymore because I love it with all my heart. This is a calling to me, it's not a job to me. I believe deeply that I'm on this planet Earth to make the world a better place for children. How many of you agree with me that we are here to make the world a better place for children? Yay, us, right? And so, coaching is something that has been a big part of my life. When I was a vice president of a division, I was creating coaching content and then training ISD coaches to coach their teachers. I've written coaching content, I've taught coaching content. Coaching is a big part of me. I'm also influenced by conscious discipline. I'm also influenced by class. These are brain stats, and Dr. Becky Bailey, who created Conscious Discipline, you may be using her curriculum, has done a really good job of explaining the brain. And one of the things that I'm most passionate about talking is the brain. Everything to me is connected to the brain, the grown-up brain, the child brain, how we work together brain. It is so fascinating to me what our brains can do and how it shows up in our world. My experience has also been in NACI accredited programs. So NACI comes from brain research and standards, and that has also guided all my work that I do. Just for fun, if you want to put in the chat one fun fact that you know about the brain. What do you know about the brain? Put it in there and we'll all learn more about the brain from each other. So one fun fact about the brain that you find fascinating, put it in the chat. Here we go. All right. I am on a mission to transform one program from stressful to joyful. That's the mission I'm on. And I want to make sure, yes, executive function. Yes, can be programmed. Look, this is totally multitasking, and I completely had to recalibrate my brain. 3 brain states. Yes, 90%. You guys, you can teach this class. You got this. This is helpful for me. I'm not going to talk about those because you know those. Okay, so I'm on a mission to transform one program, one classroom from stressful to joyful. Are you ready to join my mission? Are you ready to be a change maker? All right, put it in the chat. I'm ready to be a change maker. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right. I do have slides. I promise I will tell you slides in a minute. But here you're going to. Yes. I love the enthusiasm. I love it, guys. You are like music to my heart. I love this. If we were together, I'd be giving you air hugs right now, or for real hugs. All right. You're going to get lots and lots of nuggets from this session. Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to now pause the chats because I don't want to multitask and I don't want you to multitask. So I'm pausing the chat. You can't get in the chat anymore and you won't be able to go in there. The reason is because I want you to become focused in what we're talking about, and then I'll open the chats again later. Don't worry, I promise I will. So I want to start off the conversation, and I think some of you already put this in the chat, that what you know about the brain. For those of you that haven't heard the memo, 90% of the brain development happens by age 5. 90% by age 5, 80% by age 3. That means that the human that you are today, your foundation was laid early in life. I have a sentence for that. What happens early in life lasts a lifetime. What happens early in life lasts a lifetime. Put it somewhere, put it in your classroom, put it in your office, get a plaque, put a frame, put it somewhere. Don't just hear me say it. Do something about it so it stays in your attention. There's something to be said that it stays in my attention if I visually see it. So this is what I have. It's actually stuck on my wall. I can't even show it to you, but if I could, I would show it to you. So here, it's on my wall. You see that? So my husband does laser work. I'm not telling you something I haven't done. What happens early in life lasts a lifetime. Why am I telling you this? Because things that you do with your brain, if you see it, it stays in your attention. So every time I'm speaking, I'm reminded that what I'm talking about is important work. All right, the next thing that is really critical is to take a deep breath. When we take deep breaths, it wakes up our brain for listening and learning. So here's what I'd like for you to do. Do a starfish. I don't know about you, but my day has already been super hectic. So I need to calm my brain down, be fully present here, ready to learn. We're going to do a starfish, and here's how you do the starfish. The beauty of a starfish is I got 5 deep breaths instead of just 3. But if you're taking notes, 3 deep breaths change the brain state from reacting to responding. You want to become a breathing program. If your staff are not doing it, please, please, please start the new school year with it added to your schedule. If you are in a leadership role, if you're a teacher, add it to your schedule. 2 brain breaks before lunch, 2 brain breaks after lunch. This needs to be the message that you send your staff that we are not playing with this. We are that school and we are taking deep breaths. Why? Because the research says you will have less stress in your building if the children and the grown-ups are taking a deep breath. I'm going to now share my screen because I know some of you are visual people and you're probably feeling very lost right now because you're just like, she is talking nonstop. I have no idea. I need something to focus on. This is way too much. I can't do it. I got you, my friend. I got you. You are a visual learner, and we are all different type of learners. And here's what I'd like for you to start. So maybe I have to unmute the, actually you can unmute. Don't do the chat, just unmute. My question to you is, what are some words that come to you when you think about children? What are some words that come to you when you're thinking about children? Who wants to answer? Can anybody answer, or is that not possible? Can you not answer? Let me see. Did I? Yeah, oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay, you can now answer. You can unmute now.
Playful. Playful.
Active.
Laughter.
Joy.
Abundant.
Fun.
Curious. Funny.
Creative. Inquisitive.
Kind.
Scientific.
Oh, I love that.
Resilient.
Ooh,
Young
Creative.
beautiful.
Loving.
Beautiful. All right. So I would add to your amazing list. I was so happy to hear your voices. Those were some amazing words, guys. Those were some amazing words. I would add to the list. I would say they are capable, intelligent, and so smart. So smart. And the reason I want to focus on these words is because this determines the way we look at them, the way we speak to them. If I know they're capable, I'm going to raise the bar with what I expect from them to understand. At 3, you can understand this. At 2, you can understand this. And so we're talking the truth about classroom management today. And we're talking about switching. Can you see my slides okay? Can everybody see my slides? Give me a thumbs up so I see it. Yes? Okay, cool. So we're shifting our focus from policing to educating. And you know the definition of insanity, right? Is doing the same thing and expecting different results. So I have an acronym for that, DSD. Today is your DSD. Do something different. Do something different. It's going to teach you lots of skills, and I hope you're going to apply them. Here's our first golden nugget. I'm going to give you at least minimum 5 golden nuggets, but maybe more. The first one is understanding our magnificent brain. And our brain is so magnificent. It is absolutely incredibly beautiful. There are 3 brain states that determine the behavior outside. For the grown-up and for the children. Everything I'm talking to you about is coming from the perspective of what is the grown-up doing that is not meeting the needs of the little humans is why they're acting out. So this is what I feel very strongly. 85% of the behaviors that are happening in our programs is because that grown-up is not understanding the little human and the little humans are acting out. So there are 3 brain states: the survival brain, the emotional brain, and the learning brain. And today's conversation is going to give you practical strategies. What does that look like in your classroom or as a leader? You are seeing these brain states show up in your staff. You're seeing it in your kids. Let's talk about the survival brain first. The survival brain is right here at the base of my neck. But here's how it shows up in the world of our work. When we feel insecure, when somebody makes us feel incompetent, when somebody makes us feel judged, or we are fearful, we are in our scared brain. When we are in our scared brain, we cannot learn, we cannot function. So I say this because quite often leadership can say and do things. Co-workers can say and do things. It could be a tone of voice. It could be a choice of words. It could be how you look at your co-workers. If they feel insecure or they feel incompetent or they're feeling judged, they cannot do their best work, because in the survival brain, that is not where my thinking brain is, and I act out. So there are 7. By the way, before I get to the symptoms, I came across this quote from Zig Ziglar. And I just love this because this is what the survival brain does. Fear has 2 acronyms. It has 2 meanings. Fear means forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. Regardless, you're in your scared brain. But the way you transfer it, the way your mindset changes, the way you look at a situation, either makes you want to give up and go away, or face your fears and go forward. This is a choice that we're making every single day, every single day. And the kids are observing us. So these are the known 7 symptoms of a scared brain. This is how you would know if a grown-up is feeling insecure, anxious, nervous, judged. This is why they're acting out. Or it could be your kids. So I hope this message resonates with you, how powerful this is. The grown-up gets in their scared brain and the children get in their scared brain. It is not just the children. This is where it's going to change what we do, right? So the fight happens. I want to tell you a story about a little boy, because Daniel was very aggressive. And when I started working with his teacher, she was so focusing on him, trying to not hit, use gentle hands, because he would stand literally by the block area and he would block the area. He wouldn't let anybody come in the block area. As soon as somebody would come, he would kick, he would push, he would shove, he would physically be very aggressive with them. And the teacher was focusing on, Daniel, gentle hands, Daniel, blocks are for sharing, Daniel, you can't let the other kids be pushed around. But when I was in this room observing, what I noticed was Daniel wasn't pushing because he wasn't wanting to share. Daniel was pushing because they were coming too close to him. He was feeling insecure. He was feeling self-conscious. He was feeling claustrophobic, whatever the words were. That's what triggered him. And so one of the powerful sentences I gave her was, let's teach Daniel to say the words, I need space. And then she had to teach the other kids, when Daniel is saying, I need space, you better listen to him. Otherwise, you're going to get hit. And that's going to be your fault, right? Consequences. We have to teach our children consequences. And so within 1 week, the behaviors changed in this classroom because Daniel started saying, I need space. And the behaviors drop. So flight happens, they run around, they don't want to be caught, they get frightened, they look frightened, they cry. Freeze is when they stare at you, you ask them a question, and this quite irritates the grown-ups. Look at me, talk to me. They just nothing, there's nobody home because they're scared. Fibbing is an interesting one. The little white lies happen. And I've heard so many grown-ups say, don't you lie to me. I've also heard leaders tell their teachers when they don't submit lesson plans, or they're tardy, or they're late, or they're whatever there is. And the response is, don't lie to me, don't lie to me. They are lying because they're scared. This is a symptom of a scared brain. Floating happens when they don't make eye contact and they will look at anything but you. They're floating, they're creating an alternate reality. And the other one is fawning. And grown-ups do it and children do it too. When they feel like they're in trouble, they'll say things like, I like your shoes, I like your dress, I love you. And then we fall for it and we say, I love you too. And we forget what we were talking about, right? It's a coping skill. It's a coping skill to take away whatever is fearful right now. So here's your magical sentence. If you see the 7 F symptoms coming up, you are safe, I'm here to help you. You are safe, I'm here to help you. And the sentence you want to teach the children is, I need space, too close. Teach this in your toddler classroom. You will see biting dropping drastically because they will be able to have distance. Here's your emotional brain nugget. Remember, the emotional brain has one purpose. The survival brain's purpose is to keep us safe, but the emotional brain purpose is to be seen, to be heard, to be understood, to be loved. This is to do with your self-esteem. This is to do with your just showing up in the world, your self-confidence. And if you lack in self-confidence, it is going to show up in all kinds of ways. And this is also why the emotional brain has a lot to do with the behaviors in our classroom, but also with the grown-ups, the attention seeking. You know where the attention seeking shows up is your class clown. Is that, so I was in a classroom the other day, they were at the circle time, and this little boy started jumping up and down and doing silly actions and making silly faces. And don't you know, everybody started looking at him and started laughing. And the teacher was looking at me and saying, oh my goodness, he does it all the time, Prerna, he does it all the time. And I said to her, I said, do you realize that he is so hungry for attention that he is going to do whatever it takes to fill his emotional bucket? His emotional brain is empty and he needs to fill it. So he needs the kids to look at him. He needs you to look at him. This is also your tattlers. You know, if you have tattling problem in your classroom, they're doing it because this gives them the attention. When I tattle, you look at me. You grown up are giving me the attention. This is also happening in your staff, guys. These are the same teachers who are popping in and out of your office every minute, trying to get your attention. Hey, do you have a minute? Hey, do you have a minute? They just need your attention. It's a real need coming from the emotional brain. The bullies. This is another one, guys. The bullies are doing it because their emotional brain is empty and they're doing whatever it takes to fill it up. So here are your strategies for your emotional brain. I gave you strategies for the survival brain, which is your sentence. You're safe. I'm here for you. The emotional brain is magic when you use these sentences. I see you. I hear you. I understand. I notice. So I'm going to say that again if you're taking notes. If you see attention-seeking behavior happening from your grown-up or from your children, say words like, I see you. You look really tired today. Are you okay? I hear you. I hear your kind words. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for being a kind friend. I understand you're disappointed. I understand you're frustrated. I understand this is unfair. Label some emotion that helps you to understand what they're feeling. And the last one is, I notice. I noticed you came to the carpet right away. So quite often we're using this language that says, I like the way you came to the carpet. I love the way my friends are listening. What I'm going to tell you is that is not helping the emotional brain because you're giving them conditional love, not unconditional love. When you say words like I like and I love, I like the way my friends came, what the message you're telling the kids is, when you listen and like me, then I'm listening. When you listen and follow my instructions, I like and I love you. Otherwise, I don't really care about you, which is not true, but the word you're using is giving that message. So you need to flip the script. They are leaning on attention seeking, and 85% of the behaviors that are happening in our classroom is coming because the emotional brain is so empty and so hungry to be seen and heard and understood. So they act out. And so flip the script means what they're currently doing is not working, and you're going to give them a new strategy in their backpack. And how are you going to do that? Is through a sticky strategy. This sticky strategy has already helped hundreds of classrooms. I promise you, it is a game changer. I don't know why. I don't know how. I should totally copyright this because it's changing so many classrooms. This is how you do a sticky strategy. You literally take a sticky and you put it in different parts of your room and you write the initial of the name of the person who's driving you crazy. So I'm going to go with Daniel because I just gave you Daniel's story, how aggressive he was. So I'm going to put D on the stickies. And then every time in the beginning, all this I'm sharing with you guys, you got to start the school year with these strategies. On day 1 and day 2, you're going to find out who is your attention-seeking people. Jump in with the sticky strategy and turn that around before it escalates and gets worse. The children who come in with empty brains, like emotional empty brains, are going to just suck the oxygen out of the room. They're going to be in your face. They're going to be answering every question. That's who you do the sticky strategy for. So if I'm going with Daniel, I have the D written, and every 30, 40 minutes, I'm going to scan the room. And every time I see the D, I'm going to go up to Daniel. Don't yell it across the room. It'll not have the same effect. Go up to Daniel. And if he's on task, don't do it if he's not on task. If he's on task, not bothering anybody, I would literally say, Daniel, you're building with the blocks. I appreciate that so much. You're going to flip the script for him so that you can really quickly let him know that you're catching him doing good. And so he doesn't have to act out. And he's going to learn very quickly that this is how this grown-up does life with me. The brown bag strategy has also helped a million teachers already. So the brown bag strategy is for your tattlers. They're tattling to you because when they come and say, she's not doing that, he's not doing that, they need your attention. And this is what you do. You ask them, is it helpful or is it hurtful? Before they say anything, before you say, is it hurtful or is it helpful? And if it's neither, teach your children to have lots of brown paper bags, guys, the lunch sacks. This is genius. Get lots of stacks of brown paper bags in your classroom and tell them to tell it in the brown paper bag. Blow it up. Blow the brown paper bag, tell the brown paper bag all the tattle, close the bag, leave it there. At the end of the day, you will open all the bags and you will listen to all of them. Genius, genius. It has already helped many because you're meeting the need of the emotional brain. So you got to be smart about the emotional brain. The sentence you're going to teach them is remember for the survival brain, it was I need space. You're too close. For this one, you're going to teach them I need help. I need hug. So many of the behaviors are happening because they just need a hug and they act out. And this is counterintuitive to what you're doing because when children act out, we don't want to typically feed the negative behavior. But here's where the spiral happens, guys. This is where the hamster wheel is. Your brain is saying, I'm not going to feed the negative behavior. And their brain is saying, my emotional brain is empty and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it out of you. They just need to rise out of you. So here's how you do that. Here's how you meet the emotional brain needs. You go from telling to asking, and the third level is wondering. So I'm going to give you an example. Children are being aggressive. They're not sharing, they're pushing, whatever the behavior is. Typically what grown-ups are doing is stop doing that. Stop hitting, stop kicking, start sharing, gentle hands. Do you see how we go straight to correcting? Do you see how we go straight to telling? This is why it's backfiring. This is genius, guys. Don't tell, ask. Before you tell somebody, stop sharing. No, don't tell them, don't stop sharing. Like gentle hands. If you say to somebody, gentle hands, don't push. Before you say that, I want you to ask, I noticed you were hitting. What happened? Before you tell them what to do, you need to start asking. And then the better yet, so it's layers. I want you to think of it this like layers. So the basic level is telling. I'm just telling them what not to do. The next best level is asking. What's going on? And then I can tell. So ask and then tell. It'll be like, oh, what happened? I saw you hitting. Okay, so let's not hit. Now I can tell you the best one is wondering. Start wondering, what is the child feeling? Don't focus on what they're doing. Our attention is so much on what they're doing that we forget that there's an emotional brain and the feeling inside is making them do stuff outside. This is going to change. This is powerful stuff, guys. I want you to pay attention. If you've drifted away, come back to me. When you go from telling to asking to wondering, you're going to connect with the emotional brain. I wonder if you're feeling that was unfair. I wonder what's happening inside you. Are you feeling left out? Are you feeling jealous? What is happening in your brain, little one? When you start becoming a detective, that's when the magic starts happening. I would also say don't give your power away with stickers and bribes. They are not helpful. They don't change behaviors. It's a quick fix. It's like a Band-Aid on a bleeding wound. You're giving your power away because the message you're giving to the children is, I don't really know what to do with you, so I'm just going to put a Band-Aid on it so that you just stop right now. It actually backfires. I would also tell you if you're using threats and punishments, if you don't do this, then you're not going to get that. If you don't hurry up and finish, then you're not going to go outside. If you're using threats, it's the weak strategy. Love is much stronger than fear. If you start the year by loving your children, if you start by genuinely loving your children and really being happy to be with them, it's a heart connection, guys. It's a heart connection. They will not want to disappoint you because children don't want to disappoint somebody who loves them. So here's where it is a game changer. I would also say, if I've not already said it, because all of this is very spontaneous, even though I have slides, all of it is spontaneous. Teach to the heart before you teach to the head. When children are emotionally safe, they will take academic risks. Teach to the heart, you will teach to the head. Cognitive will come, I promise you. They will learn in your programs. They'll be more regulated. Now we're at the learning brain. This is where the regulation happens. So survival brain keeps me safe. Emotional brain wants me to be seen, heard, understood, noticed. If I don't feel it, I'm going to act out because I need it. The learning brain is where you teach. But majority of the kids are not here. They're here, or you are here and here. You're not in the learning brain. This is where it shows up. Stubbornness. I've heard so many people say, that person is just stubborn, just flat out stubborn. They don't want to listen. They're just being obstinate. They're just rude. They're just defiant. I've heard so many people say, I have defiant kids. This is a disease right now. It's like so many kids are getting diagnosed with oppositional defiance behaviors. But it's not true. What is really happening is children want some control over their learning. Children want some control over their autonomy. They want some autonomy over their learning. They want some autonomy over their play. They want some control. They're not getting a lot of control. The grown-ups are pretty much controlling their entire life. Think about it like this. They decide where you go to school, where you eat, what you do, da. Children don't have a lot of control. And this is why it's leaking out, guys. This is the problem. And so look at stubborn, obstinate behavior as a way to remind your brain that I need to give you some control. And the best way to give control is give them a choice. Choices equals voices. Choices are powerful stuff, guys, but it has to be a real choice. Something that they actually can choose this or this. I've heard teachers say things like, if you go inside, once we go inside, you can do this. But the point is you're trying to get them in. So what they could do inside, or you can have your snack, you can wash your hands when you go inside. But the choice you need to give them is to come in. This literally happened. There was a girl, she didn't want to come in. And the teacher said to her, well, if you don't want to come in, I'm just going to leave you outside. Come on now. You know you can't leave her outside. You're not going to work a day in early childhood if you leave a child in the outside. She knows that. You know that. It's not a real choice. The real choice would be, you could hold my hand or you could hold a friend's hand, but we're going in. What are you choosing, my friend? Give them a real choice. Children are very smart and capable. I already told you that. If it's not a real choice, they're not going to fall for it. So when you give them a real choice, if the choice is not working, this is your level 2. Basic choice, do this or do this. But if that choice is not, like for cleanup, if I'm going to give them a choice for cleanup, you can pick up the cars or you can pick up the blocks, but we are cleaning up. What would you like to do? Which one do you want to pick up first? And if they don't want to pick up either, then my next level is either you choose or I will choose for you. And you may not like my choice, right? You have to go to the next level because you have to have consequence and you have to follow through. We're also giving away our powers when we don't hold them accountable. Look, this is important, guys. Children have rights, but children also have responsibilities, right? So you have a right to play, but you also have a responsibility to pick up the toys when you're finished done playing. So I don't mind if you take the manipulative toys to the block area because it's part of your imaginative play, but it is your responsibility to put them back so others can find it. I also have yes zones and I have no zones. Yes means yes, you can play in the home living and yes, you can go to the block area, but no zone is you cannot dump the paint. That is a no-go, no-go, right? So we also have to have yes zones and no zones, but we need to make sure that we're holding ourselves accountable and following through. Classroom meetings are game changers. If you're having issues in your classroom from 3 on up, take it back to them. I would bring these words to life. So many issues happen in the classroom because they're not sharing or they're taking. They mix up these words. Taking is not sharing or grabbing, right? So I would demonstrate these words. I would bring them to life. I would have the kids take something from somebody and I would ask them a question. How did that make you feel? Classroom meetings are powerful because I want to develop 90% of the brain and I want to give them opportunity for brain problem solving. So how did that make you feel when somebody snatched it? And then I would share, how did that make you feel when I shared it? Tie it back to the feelings, but also it backfires sometimes when we ask kids, like, look at your friend's face. What are they feeling? They don't know. They don't even know what they're feeling. But what you can ask them is, what can we do to help my friend? She doesn't look very happy. You could tell them that they're not feeling well or they're not feeling good, right? But here's how the grown-ups are adding to the behaviors. I told you almost 85% of the behaviors that are happening in the classroom is coming from the grown-ups. Here's how the grown-ups are adding to the stress in the classrooms. We have now started using the sing-songy voice. This is very passive sing-songy voice. Walking feet, gentle hands. We're singing this song all day long. We are totally confusing the kids. We're not being firm about it. We're just passive sing-song. And the kids are like, I don't have to listen. I don't think she needs me to listen to that. It's a choice. I don't need to listen. I've ignored her. Instead of that, start using your assertive voice. You know, I said this to somebody the other day. You should start using your assertive voice. And her first reaction was, Prerna, I don't want to be mean. No, please don't be mean. I don't want you to be mean. But recently, I've been flying a lot for work. And I have been paying attention to the air hostesses. So the air hostess says, put your tray table up, put your seatbelt on, have your seat right upright. She's not asking me, would you like to do that? Can you put your thing on? Can you put your... She doesn't do that. She's confident. She says it in a clear, assertive voice. She says it in a firm voice. And if I want to fly on the plane, I listen to her. This is the voice you need for your children. You need KLFF. Be kind. You don't need to be mean. Be kind, be loving, be firm and fair. Firm and fair means you follow through. If you've asked clean up and you have only 2 friends cleaning up and the rest of them are coasting the classroom and you do nothing about it, then the message you're sending is, I don't need to listen to this grown-up. This grown-up doesn't do anything. I can do whatever I want. This is why it's critical at the start of the school year. Guys, I'm so happy you're here for the start of the school year. Please do these things from the start of the school year. Have a KLFF attitude. If somebody's not following through, excuse me, I'm going to go up to them. I'm going to make eye contact. I'm going to get down on their knees. I'm going to get down on my knees, make eye contact, and I'm going to say to them, pick up the blue blocks, please. And then I'm going to go one step forward and I'm going to say to them, what did you hear me say? I'm going to have them repeat it back to me. So you can't ignore me and you can't go to Mars and I'm left on Earth yelling behind you. I'm going to have you repeat back to me. What did you hear me say? Pick up the blue blocks. Okay, let's see you do it. And I'm going to stand right there till you do it. And if you can't do it, then I'm going to help your hand and do it. Come on, help me. This is where does this belong? I'm not going to just let you slide because beginning of the school year is critical because that little human needs to know, does this grown-up mean business? Or does this grown-up say lots of things and I don't have to listen? Guess what, guys? By the first week, they're going to have your push buttons. They're going to know exactly what your push buttons are. They're going to push your button. They got your number. But guess what? We're not going to get their number till March. It'll be after spring break before we understand them. Not cool. All right. I do want to talk about this. This 4-step is going to reduce the frequency and intensity of behaviors. So it comes in 4 steps and you might have to cycle through this. It's like rinse and repeat and you have to do it with individual children. So Brianna is not listening. Brianna is a tattler. I need to take this on. I'm going to start connecting before I correct with Brianna. That means I'm going to ask and then I'm going to tell. I'm going to understand Brianna where she's coming from. And then I'm going to have a plan. Brianna is tattling, okay, what's my plan? So I shouldn't be surprised the next time she comes up to me and says, so-and-so is not listening. So what's my plan? I'm going to be proactive with it because I don't like tattling. I'm already going to tell Brianna next time, is it helpful or hurtful? Before you come to me, Brianna, I want you to ask this question. Is it helpful or is it hurtful? And she's going to think about it. I'm going to give her some examples. And then I'm going to tell her, here's my brown bag. You can leave it in there. Right? I have a plan because I don't want to get triggered because I can't stand tattling. I also can't stand whining. Oof, that's another thing. And then the respond in the moment. If Brianna still comes up to me and she's tattling, I'm going to SBA myself. I'm going to stop, breathe, and anchor myself. I'm going to have a sentence in my head. I got this. I got this. I got this. So my brain doesn't get angry. My brain doesn't get frustrated. I'm going to have a sentence in my head and I'm going to have an activity on my feet. I'm going to wiggle my toes. I'm going to be like, be fully present, Prerna. All right, I'm going to say it again. Brianna, is it helpful or is it hurtful? Right? So I'm going to respond. I'm not going to react. And then when she's calm, when it's finished, I'm going to circle back with Brianna. I'm going to have a one-on-one conversation. Hey, Brianna, I noticed that you keep coming to me with tattling. Do you know something? That you're wasting your time because you see you're wasting time to play. And here's the deal. You could just put it in the brown bag. And I know I'll hear it later on. So how about you start playing? So I'm going to teach her the next time you see something that you really want to tell me, go put it in the brown bag and then you can continue playing because you're missing time playing, friend, right? I'm going to tie it in there. This is temperaments. I know I'm going fast, guys, because I want to open it up for Q&A because I promised you that and I always keep my word. So here's where the temperaments come in. This is why a lot of the stress is happening in the classroom because the temperament of the grown-up is clashing with the temperament of the child. I want to tell you about, we have 4 grandchildren and all of their temperaments is so different. In this picture, you can see Emma, who's 18 months old. She's watching the sensory play, but Ava, who's 11, is completely sensory child. From the time she was born, if she could be dipped in goop, that would be her happy day. Like she is so excited with sensory play. Emma is cautious. She holds back when it comes to ooey gooey, icky ooky things. But having said that, she is very confident when it comes to taking risks. So I'll give you an example. She's much more of a risk taker than Ava is. If we're outside, Ava would walk so far, but she would turn around. As old as she is, she's 11 now. She would turn back to keep an eye on the grown-ups. But Emma just keeps walking. She never turns around. We were at the bowling alley yesterday and she literally just walked off. She walked right to the gate and we are watching her like, okay, is this girl going to stop? Is she going to check if the grown-ups are coming? No, she's fearless. So she is, you know, she has the temperament of taking on risk, but when it comes to ooey gooey, she's cautious and she is hesitant. So here are the 9 types of temperaments. So the first one is active. These children are active, they need movement, and if you try to box them and control them, they will absolutely not listen to you and they will act out. So you need to allow them movement. This is why having the brain breaks that I was talking about earlier, 2 brain breaks before lunch and 2 after, you can weave in movement in it. The movement also comes if the kids are losing interest, you're at the carpet, then have them get up, and you get 10 to 15% more blood in the brain and you will get their brain engaged. This one is regularity. These kids need routines and schedules. They need to know what's coming. And if you take that away, they act out. The next one is initial reacting through change. So they're hesitant, they're insecure, they're cautious. If you're bringing a new something to me, a new activity, a new something, tell me about it, prepare me, let me know what's coming. You might want to stay near me because I'm not feeling quite confident right now. And then we have adaptability. These kids really want to know what to expect. So if you have specials like, you know, music teachers take your kids out, or if you have like, if you're lucky and you have like stretch and grow part of your program that come and take your kids out, you need to let these kids know somebody's going to come and they're going to take you out and they're going to be with you so they don't act out for those people, right? These kids need to know what to become, what to expect because they don't adapt easily. Then we have the feisty, boisterous ones. These kids are very physical and just breathing with them is not going to help them. They need to punch the cushions. They need air something. They need to stomp on something to get their energy out because when they get aggressive, they hit other people. So give them a safe alternative to release some of this energy. I've had traced footprints on the floor that they can stomp on. I've also had traced handprints on the wall that when they get angry, they can jump up and hit on it because you need to exert this energy. That's their temperament. By the way, you know what a temperament is, right? This is what their disposition is, how they show up socially and emotionally and cognitively. That's who they are. The next one is moods. You really got to know their moods. Some kids are just moody by nature and they don't warm up by till 11 o'clock or they don't warm up till after lunch. Some kids are really just sulky and you need to know what their personality is so you can't force them. So you can give them some space. Distractibility, this is fascinating. Some kids really don't do well with some other kids. Some grown-ups don't do very good with some other grown-ups either, right? Because they just get distracted with who's next to them. So knowing who's going to sit on your carpet, if you have to move kids around for this reason, but not to assign seats, especially the ones who are easily distracted, you might want to have them close to you so you could keep an eye on their knee or their shoulder if you need to bring them back. So this is critical. Persistence and attention span. This is something that is struggling in our classrooms right now. The attention span is nanosecond and we have to treat it like a stamina. You have to build on it. And I do a whole thing on that. I have a focus and attention download on my website that you can get on how to build attention span and focus. Sensory threshold is a very interesting one, guys. Many kids are getting diagnosed right now with ADHD and autism spectrum, and they're not. They're not on the spectrum. But because they're getting overstimulated by the lights or the sound, they act out. So you need to look for patterns. You need to look for when does this child lose it? Who are they next to when they lose it? So you might have to dim your lights. You might also have to use one sense at a time. And I'm running out of time to give you guys Q&A. All right, I'm going to open up the hot seat in the chat. I'm going to stop the share. And the hot seat, the way it works is you put your name down. It's not open yet. Give me a second. You put your name down in the chat if you want coaching. And I'm going to go first come, first serve. This is live coaching if you're joining the live session. And in the chat, if you want to write down coaching, and then I'll just look down the names and I'll call you and you will put it in the chat. So you can put it in the chat what you need help with, and we'll see how many we can get done live. All right, who wants to go first? The chat is open. You can put it in if you're looking for help with a specific child or a specific. Silas, are you looking for coaching? Silas, you're in my membership. You could ask coaching. You could ask coaching anytime. Silas, you are so funny. You're in my membership, Silas. Are you looking for coaching seriously, Silas? Come on Tuesday because you're coming on Tuesday. I want to give the people who are not coming on Tuesday. Thank you, Maria. Thank you. So you can also write what's your biggest takeaway if you don't have a coaching question, but I want to open it up for coaching right now. What are you looking for? Can't unmute. Okay, Silas. Yeah, cool. Yeah, wait till Tuesday because you'll have a smaller group. What was number 9? All right, let me go back to that screen. How do you address children? Hang on. This is going really fast. I want to come down. I want to take it first come, first serve. So how do you, who slap? Okay. All right. Constant interruption during circle. Okay, that was the first one I read. So I'm going to share my slide again because you wanted number 9. So let me go to that. I want to be honest because that was a bad one. And then your question was how to help them constant interruption in the circle time. Got it. I'll help you right now. All right, this is number 9. You got this. So the question was, and Alan, if you can keep an eye on, let me know if I missed something, sensory threshold. Okay, here's what I would use in my circle time. I would have a fidget box. And for the ones who are interrupting all the time, they are doing it to get your attention. So you need to get them very close to you. Attention-seeking behavior is a relationship-seeking need, right? And so you want to have them close to you because they're constantly interrupting. And then I would even make a popsicle stick with a mouth, and I would make a popsicle stick with the ear so that we can listen when we're holding the ear. So you'll have, if you have 14 kids, you will have 13 ears and 1 mouthpiece. Whose turn it is to talk has the mouthpiece, but the child who's interrupting you constantly has to be close to you. So I can give you the attention without you taking it by talking. My hand is going to be on your knee, your shoulder, your head, you're somewhere. I'm going to be touching you because I know you need my attention. All right. All right. So I'm going to go back up again. Alan, if you can let me know. Transitions, attention seeking. Sorry,
The first
go ahead.
one was from Karen, about 2-year-old that has tantrums.
Okay, so I'm going to presume that it's normal tantrums. I'm not getting what I want, so I'm going to have a massive fit. Is that what you're talking about, Karen? I'm guessing. All right. So tantrums are very normal in a 2-year-old classroom. This is developmentally appropriate. They have not mastered self-control and impulse control. But you also need to know, is this tantrum an upstairs brain tantrum or a downstairs brain tantrum? An upstairs tantrum is when I get what I want, I smile. I turn it off like that. If it's a downstairs tantrum, I am emotionally distressed and I can regroup. So the strategy for the upstairs tantrum is you need to be firm. So is the tantrum happening because I'm asking you to clean up and you don't want to clean up? My response would be, I understand you're disappointed, you're not ready to stop playing. I understand that, you can play with it later. The fact that you understand lets them know that this grown-up understands me. And then you can play with it later. Or is the tantrum because I'm getting frustrated because I can't do the puzzle piece? So this literally happened with Emma the other day. She was working on a puzzle piece. She got really frustrated. She's 18 months old. And she's like, all this happening. So I have to label it. You're getting frustrated because the puzzle is not working. I understand. All right, let's take a deep breath together and we can figure this out. You haven't mastered it yet. If it's an upstairs tantrum, you got to be firm. If they're having a tantrum because they want to do something, or are they having a tantrum because they're distressed, upset? Then they may need a hug. They may need reassurance. Okay, Alan, which is the next question? Because I can't keep up with. Anyway,
The next one was.
Go ahead.
Next one's from Michelle. How do you address children who slap kids or throw rocks at other kids for no specific reason?
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say about that. First of all, behavior is a form of communication. What seems like no reason, there's always a reason. Look for patterns. Are they doing it to the same children? Are they doing it at the same time? Because throwing rocks and hitting could be a survival brain. Maybe they feel like somebody's coming close to me and they're going to take what I'm playing with and they're going to run with it. So I'm going to protect myself because they live in their survival brain. So many kids live in their survival brain. And so they lash out. So just change your mindset. It's not for no reason. Start digging what's happening around them. Is it outside? Is it inside? Is it a certain time of the day? Is it with a certain child? Follow the breadcrumbs and you will find the reason, and then start guessing, what might this child be feeling? Is this jealousy? Am I paying attention to something? Is this competition? What is it? What is it? There's always a something. All right, what's next, Alan?
Ideas on transition times for a child who is an attention seeker and aggressive.
100%. So transition for attention seeking, I'm going to give them a job. Remember I gave you the 4 steps? This is your planning. Because the planning sounds like, oh, so-and-so acted up in the transition again. That's your reactive brain. That's not your preventive, proactive brain, right? You're reacting, oh man, they didn't come to the carpet again. Oh, again, the transition is so rough. So if I already know that Alex is going to act out in my transition because he's attention seeking, then I'm going to plan for a job for him. He's going to hold a clip for me. He's going to open the door for me. I'm going to give him a job because he's doing it to get my attention. If I can flip the script and give him the attention when he's on task, he's going to wean off with the attention on the negative stuff. Does that make sense? All right. What else? What's next?
Next one's from Jayla. How to get through to a child that refuses to listen and is aggressive with other kids. When we try to talk to him, he shuts down even though he understands hitting is wrong.
Ooh, this is a good one. Ooh, I love this one because this is a classic example that the child is going in their survival brain. Shutting down, remember the freeze, is a survival brain. So he hits, he knows it's wrong, but then now I'm so scared because I'm in trouble because this grown-up is yelling at me and I'm frozen. So he's not shutting down because he's ignoring you. He's not shutting down because he's obstinate. He's shutting down because he's in a survival brain. So you have to do the opposite what your instinct is. You have to actually use this calm, soft voice and say, you are safe. I'm here to help you. You are safe. I'm here to help you. I have to move him from his survival brain to the learning brain before I can have a conversation about him hitting. If I am correcting him when he's hitting, and my tone of voice is strict and firm, don't you dare hit now. You've done it again. My goodness, I keep telling you, you don't listen. He is so in his scared brain, you can't teach him anything. Remember the 4 steps? Connect before you correct. That's when you ask. Then you have to have a plan. I know he's going to hit or he's going to do this and he's going to shut down. So I'm going to respond calmly. You're safe. I'm here to help you. And then the teaching is going to happen when he's in his calm brain. You'll see his stress leaving his body. And then I'm going to have a one-on-one conversation with him. Hey, you know what? I noticed that you keep hitting. What's that about? What's going on? How come you hit? What's going on? You have to have the calm conversation when you're teaching. That cycle of 4 that I just told you, rinse and repeat. It has to be the teachable moment when he's in his calm brain, not when he's triggered. I'm going to take one last question and then I'm going to switch gears to what you get in the certification. The questions you're asking is the type of questions we do in the certification, but I want to tell you all about it. I'll take one more question, Alan.
The next one is from Martha. What do you think about token boards?
Ooh, this is a good one. I think you're talking about bribing, and I'm thinking you're talking about where you put your kids' names, where they do something amazing. Martha, tell me quickly if that's what you're thinking about, like you're visually telling people if they're listening to you and they're getting a smiley face or a green face or whatever face. Is that what you're talking about, my friend? The token boards is a bribe or a... Yes, okay. Don't do it. They are useless. They are useless. They don't teach a skill. All they do is put pressure on all the other kids because then it lowers their self-esteem and kids will act out and they will just do stuff. Hey, Becca, you're here. I see your high fives. Woo-hoo. Yes, don't do bribes. Don't do punishments. Don't do stickers because they're not teaching a skill. Instead, here's what you can do. I would encourage you to have a kindness tree. If kindness is what I'm encouraging in my classroom, I'm going to have a kindness tree and I'm going to have a whole stack of hearts pre-cut in a bag. When you see your friend being kind, I want you to go put a heart on it. And as a class, because I'm creating a collaborative class, not a competitive class, I'm going to say things like, at the end of the week, we're going to count the hearts and we're going to get a special story time. You get to pick a story. We might even have a picnic outside. So you see what I'm doing? I'm going to ask them what would make their heart happy as a special treat. No stickers, no stamps, no making anybody feel less than. That is not feeding the emotional brain, and we're creating. So yay. Okay. So I am so excited, guys. This is what I'm going to do now. So this was amazing. You guys did beautifully. So we're at the mark of 60 minutes. And in full transparency and honesty, I gave you content. I hope it was new. I hope it was helpful for the 60 minutes. Now I'm going to shift gears. And if you love what you got and you're cool with it, yay. My heart is happy for that. Like that's enough. I'm happy for you. And so now I want to, but if you're sitting in the place like, I want more of Prerna. Yes, I want more of you too. I want to come play with you too. But the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my website link with you. In case you're not connected with me, click this QR code and we will be connected. There is a YouTube channel, there is downloads, and Alan is going to put a free download in the chat right now as a gift for you. So you won't get this if you're listening to the recording. Alan's going to share 10 tips for self-regulation for kiddos. How can we teach them self-regulation skills? Use the QR code to connect with us. I send out newsletters. You'll be connected on social media, but make sure you put your name and email so we are connected. There's a YouTube channel. I would highly encourage you to subscribe for it and use it. I've had so many people tell me that they've used those trainings for their staff in service, and it has really helped them. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Thank you for saying that you found the first 60 minutes helpful. That is so beautiful. Thank you. Now I'm going to take you forward in how we can play together further. The PD certificate is coming in 30 minutes, so hang with us. You're not getting the PD just yet, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this certification course, guys. Oh, this is the second time we're doing it. We just finished the first one in April, And we had 100 coaches from around the world, and it was an amazing experience to learn from other people. We're offering it for the second time in October. I promise the cap is only 100 because I don't want a very large group. So the last one had 100. I'm not going to take more than 100. I think we already have 15 or 20 on it. And I think there was a list of 45 that was on a wait list. So if you're interested, jump on it fast. You know what I am going to ask, Shar? I'm going to put you on the spot right now, if you don't mind, Shar, because you were part of, I didn't even know you were coming. So this is how this goes, right? As live as it goes. Shar, would you share what your takeaways were from your first certification that you did with us? If you don't mind, I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot. You might have to unmute, but maybe it doesn't let you because I need to do something here. Okay, now try unmuting.
All right. Yes. It was just phenomenal. Honestly, I have learned so much from it. It's just more in depth about what our own triggers are, about how to deal with other people, relationships, and our identifying our strengths. It was just phenomenal. I've learned so much, and it's helping me with not just understanding children and how to relate as teaching, but also with people that you might even difficult people like you might encounter with your coworkers or just relationships in general. So it was phenomenal. I really appreciate it. And it's always a pleasure to hear you speak. Honestly, honestly such a gift.
Thank you, Shar. Thank you, Shar. And I apologize for putting you on the spot, my friend. I didn't know you were coming. So I just got excited.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry if I did that. Okay, so who should join the certification course? If you're feeling stuck, you're losing staff, you're having burnout, and you're wasting money in rehiring and keeping them. You're feeling overwhelmed, then you should come to the certification. Jessica, you also are here from the first certification. Jessica, do you want to unmute, my friend? Oh my God. Could you tell us in your words? Oh, I just saw your chat, but it's a lot of words. Do you want to unmute and tell us? This is so unplanned. I'm loving this. Jessica, do you want to unmute, my friend? Is it only for administrators? No, it's for your coaches. It's for your instructional coaches. It's for your administrators. It's for anybody who's supporting the teachers, because teachers can't come out and ratios can't be met. It's for people who are supporting the teachers. Jessica, do you want to unmute, my friend? Oh, you have a barky corgi. Actually, I might have taken your testimony. I might look. That might be the one that I might have done. But I have one more video to show you as a testimony. This is a person who did the course, and I want to share the screen because it's only a minute long, but I want to share. I just find it so much easier if we listen to people directly instead of me saying it, because hang on. Can you see my screen? Can somebody let me know if you can see my screen? Yes. Okay, cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Renee Terry. I'm the owner of Stretch and Grow in Lubbock, Texas, and I had the honor of going through Prana's Behavior Intervention Certification course along with my leadership team, my two directors. And one of the things that I loved most about that course was that Prana really tailored it to our needs. She listened to our needs, our questions, and made sure that every single question and need that we had was answered. I also love that she taught us how to coach people. We have struggled in the past with really knowing classroom management and teaching it to our team, but there was a gap between them knowing it and implementing it. And I feel like this coaching aspect was that missing piece. She taught us how to build rapport and connect with our staff and how to help them trust us, and then to ask reflective questions so they would be open to feedback, and making sure that we gave feedback in a way that would be well received. I also love that at the end of every live call, there was a coaching session, and Prana would coach us, and then she would give us the opportunity to coach each other so that we could practice that. The skills that we learned through this training and certification course were priceless, and I highly recommend it to every single organization.
All right. Thank you so much. Oh my God, Renee, she makes my heart so happy. She just took it and ran with it. But really, that's where the magic happens, right? You get the skill set, and together we help each other. And I give you step-by-step guide, right? I won't leave you alone with challenging behaviors. And so what is the course about? It's a project base. We have professional learning community, just like you heard Renee saying. There's an opportunity to learn how to coach each other. You get the coaching language, you get the coaching sentences, and then when you take it to the teachers, then you can have magic happening. I also have a membership, and Silas, who was in the thing, is part of my membership. Silas, I know you were trying to unmute earlier. Do you mind talking a few minutes about the membership? This is all unplanned, guys. I am totally going with the flow right now. Silas, do you care to talk about how, because the membership we meet twice a month, the certification is 3 sessions and done. So if you're open and willing, I don't want to put you on the spot, but if you are,
No, I could talk.
awesome. Thanks, Silas.
No, the twice a month meetings with Prana is great. It's nice to meet in a smaller group where we can get more individualized coaching. There's lots of great tips she gives us. A lot of the stuff you heard today, she can get a lot more in depth into for those times, and she does a really good job of explaining in a way and giving us homework and tasks and stuff that we can do to help with our teachers and coaching, and lets us coach each other too, so we can all kind of work together and build in a little bit of a smaller group environment. So it's been really beneficial and stuff.
Thanks, Silas. I appreciate that so much. And you know, I love having the coaches because I learn from them too. So everything that I'm sharing with you is coming straight from the examples. And without putting anybody on the spot, because I really don't know who's here. There's like 300 people here, but 259 or whatever, but I can't put anybody on the spot. But I will tell you one example of what happened in the coaching session. So I had a coach who came to me and said, I just have the laziest of the teachers. Like seriously, she's just lazy. All she does is sweep the floor and she just stands there and the classroom is a hot mess. Catalina's here too. Oh my goodness, this is a party happening. Catalina's in the membership too. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to take Catalina. Okay, Catalina, do you want to unmute and share your experience for the membership? Forget my example, have Catalina's example. She's actually transformed some children in her program. Do you want to unmute, Catalina? This is so fun. No idea.
Yes, just a little bit about the program. I actually have my pre-K teacher also watching it. So I'm messaging with her and I was telling her, did you enjoy it? Is this helping you? Because most of the stuff that you presented today, we usually see it during our meetings. So that helps our staff to follow through with the children. And right now we do have an issue with one of the children in that class. So she was like, oh my God, like everything that you have shared, it comes to real. I was like, yes. So these courses are really good. It helps us teach our staff, our other teachers, how to deal with situations in the classroom and how to make them as the teachers feel comfortable around their classroom.
And
Yes.
Catalina, was it you or was it Pilar who had Maricela who was really struggling? And then
Pilar.
Pilar, and we unpacked that she was facing jealousy, she was facing unfairness, and then we looked at her differently, and didn't her behavior change?
Yes.
Right, her behavior completely changed. So anyway, guys, this is golden, guys. I did not even know. And I do have Jennifer. Jennifer, you're here, but I do have her testimony, and I'll read it quickly because Jennifer is on call, but I didn't even know she was on call. This is so fabulous. I'm loving this. This is as spontaneous as it gets, guys. And so here's what Jennifer had said, and she said she has barking dogs behind, so she can't read it. Trainer's Behavior Intervention Certification course challenged me to elevate my practice and methods in so many ways. This course emphasizes the importance of relationships and how to build and nurture them, both with staff and students. She shares practical advice and tips and strategies that aid in establishing deep connections so that meaningful and sustained growth can occur for everyone involved. I truly enjoyed the opportunities to learn from others during the sharing and coaching sessions offered at the end of each course. I will be implementing countless ideas into our program, and I'm confident that our students and staff and families will share in the benefits and knowledge gained from this course. Jennifer White, Family Outreach and Education Coordinator, Bright Beginnings Early Learning Program. So if you are interested, Alan, can you share the link for signing up? Actually, wait, let's give the feedback form, Alan. If you can share the feedback form. So I want to hear from your experience about today's session, because I always want to improve and see what you are saying. So Alan will share a feedback form, take a few minutes and do it. If you can't do it on the phone, you might have to copy it and send it. We've learned that about the Google Forms. It doesn't open on the. So let's do the feedback form first. And as you're filling that out, then there will be a certificate form. We've already shared the 10 tips of self-regulation. Let's put that again. That's your freebie for coming today. That's a thank you gift that you get your 10 tips for teaching children self-regulation. And then I'll give you a few moments. And then Alan can share the link for joining the certification. If you want more, the price right now is 500. I'm not going to have it for 500 again. The one we offered in May was 500. I'm offering it again for 500 in the fall. The one that's coming up in February, because that's the next time, it will definitely go up in price. This is the last time it'll be 500. So Alan, please share the link for the certification, share the link for the feedback form, and put the 10 self-regulation forms again in case somebody missed it. We'll just keep posting it again and again, just so that. Thank you guys. Connection before correction. Jessica, you're right, my friend. I can't wait to read all your feedback forms. And you will receive the recording. You will also receive the chat, because I promised you that. And also the certification form, Alan. If anybody's ready to sign up for the certification, send somebody from your team who is helping teachers. That's who it's designed for. And then you can impact your entire program. That's who it's for. But you also have questions, let me know. Let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions. These are the logistics. Here are the dates. But of course, with every session, it's recorded. And there's homework and there's quiz. Like, it's a full proper certification. And you can put it on your resume. So here are the logistics. Here are the dates. Every session is recorded. You get resources. You get the professional learning community. Last time we had people around the world. I can't wait to see who's going to join this time. You know, there's beauty learning from around the world. Totally. And if you have any questions, let me know. Let me know. Yes, you're going to get the certificate for today. Alan's going to put it in the chat and you can download it 100%. There it is. So, Alan, if you don't mind repeating everything again, everything you shared so far, just repeat it again in case it got lost in the chat and it went up. I just want to make it easy for everybody. It doesn't allow you to advocate the feedback, access the feedback form. Are you on a phone, my friend Lynn? Are you on a phone? Is anybody else struggling with this?
This is the gal who I told you about, that training that I want to do.
Excuse me?
And at first I was like, I'm going to wait until I participate in a free training.
Okay.
And it makes me want to do it even more now.
Come on, Melanie. Come on in. Come on in, my friend. I'd love to have you join the certification. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. So if you can't access the evaluation form, is it because you're on a phone? Is that what's happening? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. When the recording goes out, you will get the feedback form and you will get the recording in the chat, but you will not get the certificate. So if you want the certificate, I would capture it right now and send it in your email. Capture it and send it on your email, because I won't be able to do a certificate because it's really, really hard to know. It worked fine for Sarah on the phone. Okay, Alan, would you mind putting it again? Because I don't want anybody to have a stressed brain. So we'll put all the resources again, the 10 tips, the feedback form, the certification, and joining the certification and the certificate for today. We'll just keep putting it again and again till it works. But I'm also available for questions if you have further questions. Okay, so Victoria, what is your question about the certification? You're saying I can't figure out the certification. Can you tell me what your question is? Thank you, Bethany. Victoria, can you tell me, unmute and tell me what your question is? What are you wondering about? What can't you figure out about the certification? Or did you mean the certificate? I'm not sure right now. Oh yeah, so Alan just posted it. It says August masterclass. You just have to click on it and you can download it, or you can email it to yourself and then print it. Any other questions? Any other wonderings? We ran through this. We ran through this, guys. This, you know, yeah, everything we talked about, we go in depth in how to. Hey, Miss Kathy.
Hi, I read this in the chat. I didn't get to write down. You were talking about number 4, step process to reduce the frequent, there was a word I didn't get, of tantrums.
Okay.
And you said connect before you correct. And then number 2, I didn't get.
All right, I got you. I'm going to put that slide up.
You have that slide?
100%. I got it. 100%. I am here for you, my friend. I'm not going to leave. You get everything you need. That's just how this goes. I take care of people who show up. I definitely will do that for you. No worries. Here we go. There's that slide. And I'll show it from here.
Oh, thank you. Okay. I need a few minutes, just a second.
No worries. And I can help explain if you have any questions about this as well. No worries.
Raina, while you have that up, what was the SBA standing for, please?
Of course. So it's stop, breathe, and anchor yourself. And the way you stop, breathe, and anchor yourself, you have to have a self-talk sentence and you have to have an activity. So for me, when I'm in a classroom and it's really noisy, loud, chaotic, I get dysregulated and I get all stressed out. So then I have to tell my brain, you got this, brain, and you got this, brain, and take a deep breath, wiggle your toes in your shoes. Like I got to bring myself present. So SPA is stop, breathe, and anchor yourself. Before I can help anybody else, I have to calm my brain down. Good question.
Thank you. It was the anchor. I could not remember.
I know, right? Who can remember? Like so much to say, so much to say. But I'm here till 3:30. If you have questions about anything, you want explanation about anything, or you're wondering about anything, I am here for you. I'm not going to leave you till you get your questions answered. So feel free to unmute and ask. I am here for you, my friend. I want you to be successful. I want you to have a joyful year. But here's what I would tell you. Stress and joy can coexist. And so you got to have strategies in your backpack that you can implement when the stress gets high. So I definitely want you to have a good, strong year. And because we owe it to the kids, we owe it to the kids.
Raina, may I add a wonderful SBA strategy?
Please.
This comes from Becky Bailey. I'm also a fan of hers. You and I have met. I don't know if you remember me, Diane Goyette.
Okay, you'll have to tell me a bit more than that.
Yes. So it's you take 3 deep breaths and you tell each part of your brain, the survival brain needs to know it's safe. So you take a deep breath and say, I'm safe. The emotional brain needs to feel loved. So you take a second deep breath and say, I am loved. And then your learning brain or your thinking brain needs to be ready to get in gear. So you say, I can handle this. So that's mine. I say, I am safe. I am loved. I can handle this. Works really well in traffic too.
I love this. Diane, you need to come join the certification because this is exactly how we do. We coach each other and we help each other and we all leave richer for it. So thank you, friend. Thank you. Yes, there's a powerful sentence. I am safe. I'm loved. I got this. All right. Oh, Jessica, you're sweet. I just get
Thank
excited.
you. Thank you. It was
Thank
great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just get excited. I'm just so passionate about this field. I just can't get enough of this field. So I'm going to open up the floor. You are here. You've got me. Ask away. Ask away. If you have questions, wonderings. By the way, also put in the chat, what are you going to implement? What did you learn today? I know you put it in the feedback form, but not everybody can see that. So put it in here. What are you feeling today? We talked so much about feeling. How are you feeling after 90 minutes? And what are you going to walk away with? What did you learn? Let's see it. but I'm also here for questions. Somebody has a hand up. Lynn, you have your hand up, my friend. What would you like?
Yes, I just wanted to say that I also do that, what we call it mountain breath, what you called your starfish. And at the end of it, I always take my other hand, because I end on my pinky, and I go around as if you're smiling. And if you're not smiling as you're doing that, then you're not ready. Take some more breaths or try something different.
So put your camera on and show it to us, or am I going to have to
Oh.
imagine what you're saying? Am I doing this?
Yeah,
Okay,
let me.
all right, let's do it. Let's do
I'm
it.
on my phone. So as
Yeah.
you're doing it,
Well,
here, let
there
me
you
try
go.
to sit up for a second. Sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
Relaxing here.
Yeah, yeah. Why not? It's Sunday after
Wow.
all.
So can you see me here?
Yeah, yeah.
So we do our mountain breath and we do the ins and the outs, just like you do. It should be a little bit slower. And then from here, I come around and I go like that. And I say, okay, are you
Oh,
smiling?
I
Because that will
love
show me that you're relaxed and you're ready. If you're not, try a different breath activity.
So what you just did, Lynn, was powerful, because if we are smiling and we're being playful and having fun, then the kids are going to be having fun, right?
Exactly.
And I have actually an acronym for that too, FLIP, FLP. If you're not having fun and you're not being playful, there is no learning happening. Just go home. Just go home.
Yep.
All right, kindness tree and tech pets. Do you have the tech pet? No, my friend, this is not on TechPed, because this didn't come through TechPeds. This was hosted individually. So that's why you're getting the certificate in here. Sticky strategy. This will change your life, my friends. This will totally change your life. My goodness. Yes. Yes. Love the smiling at the end. I did too. I loved the new examples. The certificate have a payment. The certification is $500, but the certificate for today is free. This is completely free. You don't have to pay for anything. What does the KLFF? Kind, loving, firm, and fair. Firm is that air hostess voice and consistency and follow through. But the fair is that all kids are held equally. So you're not making allowances for this one who never cleans up, but this one always has to. Don't be unfair. Because we learned in our coaching sessions that the unfair emotion is causing a lot of the stress. Flip, yeah, it's fun, it's playful, and it's learning. So it actually doesn't have the I, it's only FLP. This is my very early childhood acronym of, there's no I. So fun, you got to make things fun. You got to play with them. And that's when the learning will happen. That's when the learning will happen. Yes, yes, yes. Those are beautiful, beautiful. More about the kindness tree. Of course. So kindness and joy are emotions that I definitely want in my environment. And the way I'm going to promote it is by putting more attention on it. You see, wherever you put your attention, you get more of. So if my attention is going that the kids are unkind and they're screaming and they're rough and they're da, I'm only going to keep seeing that. But when I shift my attention to kindness and I start putting my flashlight on it, I see more of it. So if I see children being kind, and I've cut up a tree, and you can make it out of brown paper, butcher paper, just roll up a butcher paper, just make the branches, and then have a whole bunch of, if you have die cuts, we used to have die cuts in our school, but I don't know if that still exists. Have a whole bunch of hearts cut out in a bag, in a box, or whatever, and then this, and have Velcros. And so there's Velcros on your butcher paper. And then as you see children, and if they're 3 and 4, they could write the name or they write the letter, so that'll incorporate writing. But if they're little, and if they see somebody being a kind friend, and we're going to talk about kindness, we're going to bring kindness to life. So kindness is when I help you, kindness is when I share with you, kindness is when I smile at you, kindness is when I give you a hug. Like, I'm going to show them all the ways that we can be kind to each other. And then I'm going to say to them, if you have a friend who's kind to you, go put a heart on the tree. And then based on their age, I'm going to be more elaborate, right? But we're going for a compassionate, joyful, kind, caring society. Our school family, that's where it depends on. And so I'm going to put my attention on that, and I'm going to get more on it. Does that help? Beautiful. Yes, we have to ask ourselves, are the grown-ups doing this, or are the grown-ups adding to the stress? I will tell you, the grown-ups are adding to the stress. You know, we're in the last 4 minutes, and I just want to end you with self-care. So let's do this for a minute. Just put your hand on your heart. Just take a deep breath. Just feel your heartbeat. Just take a minute and thank your heart. Our heart is working so hard, it's pumping blood. And I'm just going to have a desire. Fill my heart with love and joy. Because joy is the emotion of the heart, right? When our joy is light and happy, joy bubbles out. So desire for that. Fill my heart with love and joy. May I spread the love and joy where I go. May I connect with the children's hearts. May they connect with my heart. May they feel loved when they're in my presence. And the last one I'm going to have you do is put your hand across your forehead, bend down your head, just squeeze your temples. And here I'm just going to say, I let go. I let go. I let go of all the stress. And I forgive myself. I'm not going to be so hard on myself. I forgive myself. I forgive everybody else. I'm just going to let go. I'm going to have a great year. Just bring it down. I'm going to have a great school year. This is going to be an amazing school year. Let's spread out the joy in the world, guys. No more stress. I'm on a mission from stressful to joyful. Join me. Join me. Come join the certification. Let's learn together. Let's celebrate together. Let's spread more love in the world. Let's spread more joy in the world. Our children need it. Our children need it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You came on a Sunday. My heart is full. You are dedicated early childhood educators. You're brain architects. Go spread the love and you can do amazing things. You got this. You got this. And we are here for each other. I'm here for you if you need help. Reach out. Thank you guys. Thank you. I'm going to keep the thing open till you are here. I won't close this in case.